Nominations from the community, the Chamber chooses a person who has consistently evidenced civic leadership through volunteerism and service to the community. The Outstanding Citizen Award is among the most prestigious of the Chamber's recognition awards. Before we introduce our 2022 Citizen of the Year, we would like to recognize past recipients that have joined us tonight. There are several of you in the room, and I'm not going to call you out individually. They are listed in tonight's program, and our website has a complete list. But if those of you who have been past recipients would stand, we'd like to acknowledge you. It has only been more recently that I've really had the chance to visit with her and get to know her more. Get to know her personally and get to know about the service that she has beyond her job, which she's now retired from, but I know she's still in there working on occasion. Her servant heart that is evidenced in a lifetime of caring for others, in her family and in her community. When we received the nomination for Denise, I was so excited to share it with our committee, and now I'm happy to share with you some of what we heard from others about Denise.
I'm Bob Murray. I'm a former Venango County Commissioner, and that's how I met Denise back in the mid-1990s. And she immediately impressed me with her work ethic. She was smart, insightful, decisive, empathetic. She carries herself with a sense of grace and class that I've just always admired. I nominated Denise just simply because she's one of the best people that I know. And frankly, I think this is long overdue. It's something I wished I had done many years ago. Recently, we worked together on a project with the Northwest Hospital Foundation, and I ran into her a couple of times during that, and it just brought back respect that I've always had for Denise, and in working in this project, her voicing her opinions and providing insightful advice and asking important questions. It just made me recall the Denise Jones that this county is just so fortunate to have, and I really wanted to make sure that I didn't let the opportunity slip away this time.
I first met Denise when I was interviewing for my position at the Hospital Foundation, and I remember her very distinctly. She was sitting across the table from me, and if you've ever heard that phrase, you want to surround yourself with people who are good people and are very influential people, I would describe Denise as that. She's a very wise person, and she just really stands out in my mind from that day. Because she was asking very intelligent questions, and I walked away from that interview thinking, and I said this to my husband when I got home, I said, I want to work for her. She has been such a joy to work with on the board, such a good mentor, especially being a female leader. It's really, really important to see someone like her do the things that she has done, not only in her professional life, but in the charities that she selects to support. I would describe Denise as a very thoughtful, warm, caring individual, but she's incredibly wise. I know I've said that word before, but there are very few people that you come upon in your life that you would describe as wise. She comes with a lot of knowledge, but she's also a very caring individual. And I think that's what I really like about Denise. She cares for people, and in healthcare that's really important. And she cares so much for the individuals, and she cares for people.
Denise is highly respected throughout the community, but one of the things that I really find admirable is her family. Her husband Russ, their daughter Michelle and their son Chuck. Good people, and Denise just has an incredibly large extended family that is well rooted in Venango County over many generations, it's just a family to be proud of. It's the kind of family we like to see in Venango County.
I know Denise Jones because she is a family member. She is my first cousin. Her mother and my father were brothers and sisters. And really my first memories of Denise, her parents' home was the hub of family activities in Oil City. So that was the gathering spot, which meant that her mother was cooking for everybody, which meant that her and her sisters were cooking and cleaning and serving. And really my first memory of Denise is that, like being part of that, making sure that everybody had what they needed. And that's probably early on the heart of a servant with her, watching her mother and her father. But I also then watched Denise carry that same attitude into her service of the community. So not only was she serving the family and friends for a very long time, but then I watched her grow into serving on boards and serving in church and just making sure that she was in a position to make sure that the community had what they need, the same way that she used to watch her mother make sure that our family had what we needed. She was doing the same thing for the community.
Denise's commitment to the community, Denise's commitment to individual people, Denise's commitment to her job at the county was so evident, and we got to see that in the way that she carried out her job responsibilities at the county with such a high level of integrity, commitment to fairness, commitment to the voters, because I know she was very integral in carrying out the voter process and all that was involved, especially as of late. Denise was also very integral in making sure that the county was run efficiently and effectively, and such a high level of integrity that continues today, and that's a true legacy that carries on. It's very reflective of Denise and her work. Now at the Community Foundation, I have the privilege to work with Denise on a quite often basis because she's on the board of directors, and she came highly recommended, and I'm excited to work with her at this different level of trying to carry out philanthropy in Venango County. And Denise is already jumping in with 2 feet and learning the ropes and curious, and also I could tell will be a very committed asset for the Community Foundation and vis-a-vis the philanthropy in our area.
Denise is a very active board member, very active in discussions, participates in the meetings, always has something to contribute, is very interested, obviously, in doing a good job as a volunteer member of a board. I think she's dedicated a lot of her time since her retirement to really serving the community, and that's my impression. I think she's involved in lots of organizations. I think she enjoys it. I think she feels like she has a talent for it, and she's certainly a welcome addition to all the boards that I've been involved in, and with her. Knowing everything that she does, and I don't know everything she does because probably there's so much more than what I'm even aware of, but you know, through her church, her family, her community, the various charitable organizations she works with, she's an invaluable resource to our community, for sure.
When I heard that Denise won the award, I was very pleased and very proud of Denise winning this award, because she's been a lifelong resident of Venango County, and she was dedicated to her work and dedicated to her community and very dedicated to her church. And so I'd like to end by saying, congratulations, Denise. I know if your parents could be here, they would be oh so very proud of you. And I love you, Denise, and I'm glad I know.
So I would love to send a heartfelt congratulatory message to Denise Jones. You have served this community for a very long time, and this is a very, very well-deserved award. Kudos to you for being Venango County's Citizen of the Year.
Denise, it's your turn. I am so glad that I've gotten to know Denise and even better as we prepared for tonight. So Denise, I invite you to come up and accept this award. How can
I can keep saying, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Bob Fries told me, don't cry. He couldn't come tonight, but he said, don't cry. I said, oh, I'm not gonna cry. Okay, so I'm not going to, so. Wow. Thank you so much for this very special and very unexpected recognition to be named Venango Chamber's Citizen of the Year. I cannot adequately tell you how surprised I was when I walked into a restaurant and saw my husband, daughter, and sister sitting with Bob Murray. I couldn't quite get it into my head what would bring them together. But it did start to occur to me that Bob Murray was at the center of it all. And once they revealed the purpose of the gathering, I was humbled to know that my community service was actually noticed enough by others to earn this award, because I believe it is my civic duty to the people in the community in which I reside. Working in public service, serving on various community boards, and being an active member in my church all seem to lead down the same road: helping, hospitality, and hope. To be totally transparent, as my daughter says, there was a time when I wanted to move away from Venango County. It wasn't where I thought I would get the opportunity to live a prosperous and enjoyable life for me or my family. But I believe God had another plan. Venango County is where I thrived. It provided me with uncharted territory in county government, and during my tenure, the county was reorganized into a more professional and efficient structure. My position as the county chief clerk and county administrator allowed me to interact with professional individuals and public officials on a local and statewide level, which then resulted in my appointment on state task forces and boards. That same exposure presented local opportunities for me to serve on many community boards here in Venango County. My hope was to bring my expertise and my perspective to each of those appointments, while helping to ensure that their stated missions and goals were being promoted. Last year, I was asked to speak at the 2022 Oil City High School commencement ceremony, another pleasant surprise, which occurred 50 years after I had graduated from that same high school. I thought it appropriate to share some of my own experiences with the students that helped me through life's challenges. This is a short piece of that speech I want to share with you, as it is a tenet that continues to serve me well. Don't let others take you off your course to being who you want to be. You do you, and do it to the best of your ability, because somebody is always watching, and it is those somebodies that can influence and play a major role in your career path. Don't be afraid to be different. Embrace those differences and use them to make your part of the world a better place to live. As they say, you have to bloom where you're planted. I believe I've done that, but it would be remiss of me if I didn't give credit where credit is due. Strong and nurturing parents provided me with a loving and stable foundation that taught me I can do anything I put my mind to, that no one is better than I am, that I must love myself and be proud of who I am, and that a woman is only as good as her word. Teachings that teachings that formed who I was to become. And I must give a special shout out to my husband, Russell Jones, who has been my supportive and loving partner for 40 years now. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, I will tell you, it takes an unselfish husband to share his wife's time and effort with the community, and to serve on boards, to serve on work-related boards and committees without a complaint. I so appreciate that. Thank you. I want to thank my daughter and my sisters for sharing their life experiences and carrying criticisms with me, which gave me the confidence to be me, regardless of the circumstances, and to think outside of the box, even when it was not comfortable for me to do so. So I will continue to offer my services, my time, my resources, and my talent to community organizations that need me. It is my intention to make a difference in my little part of the world, and I will continue to do so without further expectation of public recognition or payment, as I believe it is my reasonable service. I have a picture hanging in my church office that reads, "I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I can do." Well said by Edward Everett Hill. And before I end this, I just want to take the opportunity to show my family is all here, my sisters,